Yo, what it do, Ghost Nation? It's your boy Ghost Rider. Welcome back to another episode of Ghost Movies. On this episode, I want to talk about Wanda, Season 1, Episode 8. Now, this thing dropped last night. Y'all already know I was at work. I couldn't watch it, but I'm off tonight, and I just finished watching it. And man, oh man, Agatha all along. This episode was crazy because now we get Agatha Harkness. We get the real deal. And what she wants to do is break Wanda and see what makes you tick, what makes you so powerful and so pivotal in not only just the world, but in which history, in magic history. Why are you so powerful? And you settle for this little breakfast for dinner? That's what her words were saying. Now we know, first, before Agatha Harkness could find out exactly what makes Wanda tick, we have a flashback sequence of Agatha. I want to say Agnes, but it's Agatha Harkness when she was in a woman's coven in Salem, Massachusetts. This was in 1693. It was a witch's coven. Now they all found out that she stole a very powerful book. She stole a very powerful book and started tapping into forbidden dark magic. Now, her mother, who leads the women's coven, why would you do this? Why would you break our rules, our sacred rules? So you can obtain more power, so you can obtain more knowledge. So her mother was on that was leading the women's coven, the witches' coven. Evan Nora was her name. She had her put or cast out of the cover. It looked like, you know how back in the day they had witches burned at the stake? This is what the witches were doing. They had Agatha at the stake, and instead of burning her, they were going to cast out her powers, or they were going to kill her with their witch magic. But lo and behold, Agatha Harkness, she was sucking all the power, all the magic from every witch that was trying to kill her. That's what we got from that last episode. From episode 7, we got that commercial scene where the shark was swimming up to the boy who was stuck on the island, and they said, "Yo, magic." That's Agatha. She's the one that want to take the magic from Wanda. What makes you so powerful? What makes you tick? But her mother wanted to kill her because she was so powerful. But she ended up killing her mother and all the witches. Now she comes to present day, and now we see that this is what she wants to do. She wants to tap into Wanda's mind and take her back to the past. What makes you tick? What makes you so powerful? How did you get your powers? Now we go to I love this because this was so freaking, oh my gosh. I love this because it takes us back into Wanda's past where she goes to freaking Sokovia, and we see little Wanda, and we see little Pietro, and we see her parents for the very first time in the MCU. We've never seen Wanda's past and how her parents died. Yo, this was so impactful, Ghost Nation. Wanda was such a little girl, and she had such a passion for these sitcoms, these American sitcoms like Dick Van Dyke, Bewitched, I Love Lucy, Malcolm in the Middle. Her family, they were all trying to learn to speak English, so they were watching these sitcoms. Oh, let's do what the Americans do. And we could see them speaking Sokovian. It was crazy. The accent was thick. And then all of a sudden, we see Agnes tap into Wanda's mind and say, "I want you to go and portray that character. You've lived it before. Do it again. If not, I have your two sons, Billy and Tommy. I have them as prisoners, and I will kill them. I will destroy them if you don't follow what I want to do. I want to know more about you." So it was good to see their family sitting down watching the sitcom, and then all of a sudden, after they're watching the sitcom, boom, Stark Industries bomb kills her parents, and we see it. Then another bomb hits, but this one was defective, and it looked like Wanda was like a pre-witch. She was trying to tap into it and try and get it out there or get rid of it. So for 2 days, she and Pietro were stuck in that apartment. Oh my gosh, it was so epic to see that. Then we see her go into where she was in Hydra, where she was a little girl captured by Hydra, and we were able to see Wanda tap into the Tesseract, and then the Tesseract turned into the Mind Stone. Then the Mind Stone was infused into her. Because if you watch all previous MCU films like Captain Marvel, we've seen the Tesseract get blown up. When her spaceship crashed with the pilot, Captain Marvel was flying the plane, and they actually crash landed because they were being attacked. the engine of the freaking plane blew up, and that's how Captain Marvel got her power. So now we see Wanda. She was able to use her witch powers to summon the Tesseract that was in Loki's staff, and it turned into the Mind Stone, and it just freaking infused. It blew up in her face. That's how she got her power. That's how she became Scarlet Witch, or a pre-witch who then becomes Scarlet Witch. And this is what Agnes wants to know. This is what Agnes wants to see. How did you get your powers? What's going on? Oh, it was so great. It was so great to see that. Then we get to the next scene where we get to like a more present day where Wanda's, she's in the compound of the Avengers, and Agnes trying to find out, why does she love Vision so much? Why does she bring Vision back to life? And we see that moment where she's watching a sitcom at the Avengers Tower. Here comes Vision phasing through the wall. And that's how they grew a deep connection. Because Vision has been alone by himself all the time. He doesn't know what it's like to grieve or lose somebody. But Wanda does. She's all about trauma. And she's teaching him that, yes, I miss my brother. Yes, I miss my parents. I don't know what you're thinking, Vision, but sit down with me. She has him sit down with him, and they're watching Malcolm in the Middle or something like that. And we see Bryan Cranston in the scene where the roof collapses on him. That was a very funny scene. Vision started to show concern as a android, as a robot. He started to show concern, like, yo, what is really going on? Is that guy okay? Is he hurt or is he not hurt? She said, no, he's not hurt. It's all show. It's all playful. Vision learned so much from that moment from Wanda. And this is what Agnes wanted to see. She wanted to see why she brought Vision back to life. How did you do it? Show me. Show me. Yo. Then Agnes, she provokes Wanda into going to another scene. Then we get to present day where Sword is now coming into play. And we see Wanda with her. She's already there in the freaking facility of Sword, trying to get in, and wants to see the assistant director of Sword, Tyler Hayward. I want to see Vision. I want to take his body and bury it. I am his next of kin. So she finally, because Tyler Hayward's looking at her on his laptop, on his computer, right there at her. On the camera. Send her in. Bring her in. So the security at the front desk buzz her in. She goes in and she finally sees freaking Hayward, man. She said, I want my Vision. I'm his next of kin. I have a right to bury him 6 feet under the ground. He said, I want to show you something, Wanda. So he finally shows her. He lures her into the next room, and lo and behold, Vision is disassembled right on the table. No pun intended for the Marvel Comics called Avengers Disassembled. But dude, Vision is an Avenger, and he was disassembled right there. My question at that moment was, how did Sword take Vision from Wakanda? Vision died in Thanos' hand on Wakanda. How did Sword get a hold of his body? Because his body's worth $3 billion of vibranium. So they didn't want Wanda to take the body and bury him. They wanted to know, okay, we want you to give your last regard. We want you to say your goodbye, because we cannot afford to have you bury a $3 billion vibranium. It's worth too much. And in his eyes, Hayward, all he sees is a weapon. All he sees is a weapon. In her eyes, she's grieving. I need my Vision. And then she just gets all emotional and starts using her powers, breaks the glass, flies down. You know, Hayward is like, okay, let her by. She's saying her last goodbyes. Don't let nothing happen. Boom. She goes and touches his head. And when you see his head, one of the scientists move their body. They move out the way. And all you see is his head. Vision's head is dead. There's no pupils. There's no eyelids. There's no nothing. It's just cold over. Android laying right there on the slab, son. Crazy moment. I loved it. And then she said those famous words that they have that bond together. I see you. That was something that Vision always said to her before he died. I see you. And then wanting to kill them. So she says it to him. I can't see you. Yo, that was tugging on my heartstrings, bruh. Tugging on the heartstrings. Oh. And another scene that was crazy that I want to talk about was when we're gonna get into more Hayward stuff. But I like the scene in the beginning, right after we went to back in the past for Agnes or Agatha, We finally get her back in the dungeon where she's interrogating Wanda. You know, she turns the fly into a bird. She's interrogating her. The rabbit kills the fly because the bird turns back into the fly. But one thing that I love was how she called Pietro fake Pietro. And I was saying that after I was watching. I was like, yo, that is a fake Pietro. Or that is Pietro. I loved it that Agnes actually said what we were thinking. I loved that moment. That was very important because Kevin Feige is a great writer and producer on these shows and movies. So he's going to actually write something that's so good that makes the audience think, the viewers think, okay, what is the viewers thinking right now? What are they saying in that moment? Let's create that moment. And he did it because I always called him fake Pietro. And she said it and she joked and she snickered and laughed and chuckled about it. I loved it. Now, the next scene that is very, very, very important. And I love this scene because, yo, we finally see Billy and Tommy being called by, because Agnes is the one that's letting it happen. Agatha is holding them captive. So once they finally get to that last scene, she finally takes them back to Westview. So, yes, I love this part. Now, this scene that we about to get into now, yo, Goes Nation, I'm telling you, we finally get to see Hayward, son. This is like at the end of the episode. And we finally they're out of the hex. And we finally get to see what he's been working on. And he's talking about we've disassembled and reassembled this android for far too long. So he's done this more than once. And now we finally get to see that he created his own vision. And he uses Wanda's powers from the drone that she threw on the lawn in episode 5 when she came out of the hex and confronted Assistant Director Hayward. It's crazy. He used her power as a battery and freaking connected into Vision. Vision is the weapon that's going to go into, watch, episode 9. Vision is going to be the monster that's going to go in there. And it's going to be Vision that's in the hex and Wanda teaming up to take out this Vision that freaking Hayward created. That's the big bad that Wanda's going to have to kill. She's going to have to kill Vision all over again, creating trauma all over again. And then the kids, what's going to happen to the kids? Because not only is she going to have to fight Vision, she's going to have to fight Agatha Harkness as well to try and save her kids. Oh my gosh. Oh, and another scene that I want to talk about, because this was an after credit scene about Hayward when Hayward shows us what Vision's going to look like. But the scene when she drives to freaking Westview and they got the deed on a house where they wanted to create their home, but Vision had died and she was snapped. Wanda was snapped out of existence because they were going to live their life before Thanos came to Earth. It is so crazy that from that, as soon as she saw the house and it was not even built, it was just laid in waste. It was like trees, leaves, everything covered the lawn, and all you see is just a foundation. She kneels down and she starts crying. Yo, I felt this scene. I felt this scene because she started crying, and all of a sudden, you see her power just engulf all of Westview. That's how she created the hex. That's how she created the house. The house was built. That's how she recreated Vision. We see the Mind Stone being worked into creating Vision. Vision starts to come to life right from her body. And it looks kind of cringy because she's all bent backwards and everything while she's screaming with such power, rage, and tears. Vision comes to life. And he says, Wanda. And she's all in her modern day with colored screen on her and everything. Wanda. Then she turns it to the black and white and she's wearing her whole classic 1950s outfit and everything. Then all you see is boom. Wanda, welcome home, Wanda. Oh my gosh. It's crazy how they showed us how she created Vision because she doesn't remember. And that's all Agatha wanted. She wanted to see, how did you create Vision? And now that she's seen how Wanda is so powerful and everything, she finally calls her Scarlet Witch. You're the Scarlet Witch. Because she's so powerful, but she's created such a minuscule, such a small. You have so much power. You have so much potential. You are the myth, the legend that we all know about, but you want to create this small little playpen, this small little playtime. You are so powerful. Look what you can do. You could control the whole world if you wanted to, but you want to create this small little life for yourself. Boom! Cannot believe This episode was so deep, son. And it answers so many questions. So many questions. Oh, so good. So good, Ghost Nation. That post-credit scene to seeing Vision, man, that got me, yo. That got me, Ghost Nation. I'm excited to see Vision from Westview, Hex Vision, versus this sword version of Vision. This sword Vision. Oh, my gosh. And he looks all crystal and looks like he looks all pearly and crystallized and everything. Yo. And it looked like the crystal that's in his head, it's like a V shaped. It's like a V shape. It's not really a crystal that's there anymore. Yo. Man, Wanda should have never came under that hex to confront Sword. Because they got some of her power and now they use it as a battery. And they created their own They created their own killing machine. All right, Ghost Nation, let me know what y'all think about this episode. I just gave y'all my full review, spoiler review. I loved it. It was fantastic. Go out and watch this if you have nothing better to do. If you don't want to be out there because it's COVID right now, watch this on Disney+. I'm about to get it up out of here. Y'all already know what to do. Smash that like button for your boy. Like and subscribe. Hit that post notification for your bell, and you will get more videos to come. Like I said, I'm about to get up out of here. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. I'm blasting off.